Hi everyone, it's me, Valentian again. Are you ready to dive into a little adventure today? We will be traveling back in time to chat about the pyramids. Ever wondered why they were built? Let's find out together. The Great Pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs, kings of ancient Egypt. But why? Why did the Egyptians build these gigantic structures to bury their dead? To answer this question, we need to go back in time to the ancient Egyptian civilization. Ancient Egyptians kept their dead pharaohs as preserved bodies or mummies, buried with them, their most prized possessions. They believed that the pharaohs would need all of these things in the afterlife. And so they built huge burial chambers made of stone to house the pharaoh's body and all of these treasures. These burial chambers were the earliest pyramids. They were made of stacked stone blocks, kind of like a big pile of rocks. They were small and not very fancy. But then, over time, the Egyptians got fancier and fancier with their burial chambers. They started making them bigger and more elaborate, and they even started building them in the shape of a pyramid. The Egyptians believed that the pharaoh was a god, and they wanted his tomb to reflect that. The pyramid shape represented the primordial mound from which the Egyptians believed the world was created. So it was the perfect shape for a pharaoh's tomb. The Egyptians also believed that the pyramids would help protect the pharaoh's body from being disturbed. They thought that the pyramids were so massive and so well built that no one would ever be able to get inside and steal their treasure. Unfortunately, they were wrong about that one. The Egyptians started building the first true pyramids around 2600 BCE during the Old Kingdom period. The first great pyramid was the Pyramid of Djoser, built for the pharaoh named Djoser. It was built by an architect named Imhotep, who is considered to be the father of Egyptian architecture. The pyramid was made of limestone and had 6 levels, and it was the tallest building in the world at the time. Over the next few hundred years, the Egyptians built many more pyramids. The most famous are the 3 pyramids at Giza, built for the pharaohs Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest of the 3, is the oldest and only surviving member of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It was built around 2560 BCE and took an estimated 20,000 workers over 20 years to complete. But why did the Egyptians put so much effort into building these enormous tombs? The answer may surprise you. Recent studies have shown that the pyramids were not just burial chambers, but they were also used as a way to control the flooding of the Nile River. You see, the Nile River was, and still is, the most important river in Egypt. It provided the Egyptians with the water they needed to grow crops and the transportation routes they needed to trade with other civilizations. But the Nile would often flood and destroy everything in its path. The Egyptians needed a way to control the flooding, and they eventually figured out how to do it by building dams. The first dam was built around 2500 BCE, and it was built in the shape of a pyramid. This pyramid dam was able to regulate the flow of the river and prevent it from overflowing. The Egyptians continued to build pyramid dams over the centuries, and they eventually built a series of dams that stretched the entire length of the Nile. These dams allowed the Egyptians to control the flooding of the river and produce more crops than ever before. So there you have it. The pyramids were not just built as tombs for the pharaohs, but they were also used as a way to control the flooding of the Nile River. The Egyptians were truly a remarkable civilization, and their legacy lives on in the pyramids of Giza. Thanks for watching. See ya.